Once upon a time in the quirky little town of Goudaville, there was a cheese shop like no other. The shop was called Cheese Euphoria, and it was renowned for its vast selection of the world's finest cheeses. It was run by an eccentric cheese connoisseur named Mr. Brie, who was known for his flamboyant bow ties and his unusual obsession with cheese. One sunny morning, as the town was waking up to the scent of fresh baguettes and cheddar, something extraordinary happened. A gang of mischievous mice, led by a cunning little fellow named Cheddar Chuck, hatched a plan to steal the ultimate prize, a massive, golden wheel of Gouda, famously known as the Cheese of Destiny. Cheddar Chuck had a knack for rallying his rodent comrades, and he'd gathered a motley crew of cheese-loving mice. There was Edam, a speedy mouse with a penchant for Swiss cheese, Camembert Cindy, who had a taste for the finer things like Brie, and Pepper Jack Pete, the spiciest mouse in town. Under Cheddar Chuck's leadership, they concocted a brilliant scheme. The plan was to disguise themselves as cheese inspectors, donning tiny lab coats and carrying miniature clipboards, and infiltrate Cheese Euphoria. Meanwhile, Mr. Brie was having a grand day. He'd just received a delivery of his most prized possession, the Gouda of Destiny, which was so glorious that it seemed to radiate a celestial glow. Mr. Brie decided to host a cheese-tasting event to unveil the treasure to the townspeople. As the day of the event arrived, Cheddar Chuck and his crew put on their cheese inspector disguises and waddled into Cheese Euphoria. Mr. Brie greeted them with an enthusiastic, "Welcome, cheese inspectors. You're just in time for the unveiling of the Gouda of Destiny." The mice followed Mr. Brie around the shop, making meticulous notes on their clipboards while trying to blend in with the other patrons. They even sampled some of the delicious cheeses on display, much to their delight. But as the event progressed, things took an unexpected turn. Camembert Cindy couldn't resist the temptation and devoured a wedge of her favorite Brie. She let out a loud, nom, 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 and then quickly realized her blunder. The other patrons turned to look at her with raised eyebrows. Mr. Brie, ever the perfectionist, was outraged. "You inspectors must have a taste for perfection," he scolded. "Cheese is meant to be savored, not inhaled." Edam, eager to distract Mr. Brie, started a conversation about the differences between Gouda and cheddar. "Tell us, Mr. Brie, what makes Gouda of Destiny so unique?" Mr. Brie, always happy to share his knowledge about cheese, launched into a lengthy explanation. He raved about the Gouda's creamy texture, the way it danced on the palate, and the enchanting aroma that could make even the most sophisticated cheese lover swoon. While Mr. Brie waxed poetic about the Gouda, Cheddar Chuck decided it was time to put their plan into action. He whispered to Pepper Jack Pete, "Time to spice things up." Pete scurried off to the corner of the shop and knocked over a display of spicy cheeses, creating chaos. As Mr. Brie and the patrons rushed to help with the cheese explosion, Cheddar Chuck, Edam, and Camembert Cindy made their move. They carefully rolled the Gouda of Destiny toward the exit, and just as they were about to make their escape, a little mouse named Feta Freddy, who had a crush on Camembert Cindy, decided to help. He pushed the Gouda of Destiny out of the door and onto the streets of Goudaville. The scene outside was chaotic. Townspeople were in pursuit of the rogue wheel of Gouda, and the mice found themselves caught in a mouse-sized cheese chase. Cheddar Chuck yelled, "We've got to split up," and the mice dispersed, each taking a different route. The mice zigzagged through the town, leaving a trail of chaos in their wake. The townspeople, a mix of bewildered and amused, cheered on the chase. In the end, the mice managed to outwit their pursuers and regroup in a nearby alley. There, under the moonlight, they finally cut into the Gouda of Destiny and enjoyed the creamy, dreamy cheese. Back at Cheese Euphoria, Mr. Brie realized the Gouda was gone and joined the townspeople in the search. Little did he know, his beloved cheese was now part of the greatest cheese caper in Goudaville's history, and so, the Gouda of Destiny was savored by the cheeky mice of Goudaville, creating legends that would be told for generations. In the end, it was a funny, cheesy adventure that left everyone in town with a taste of laughter and a story to share.